Alright guys, we are back with some more Edmonton Oilers GM mode commentary for you guys. And today we're going to be beginning the NHL regular season. Now, in the last video, more moves were made. We managed to make some acquisitions to further enhance our prospect pool of defensemen, which apparently now we have an abundance of, so I gotta figure that out. So Roope Hintz, he is now a third line scoring forward, 83 overall. We have a fairly strong third line, and the fourth line, well, save for Anton Lander, we have a fairly strong lineup as is. Our defensive core, not ideal, I'll say. We could use a better number 6 defenseman, but our top 4 already strong. Number 5 defenseman, Brodin, great. That's good for a number 5. And we got Cam Talbot and Vehviläinen. Not exactly a good starting tandem, but you know what I'm thinking? The goaltending might be able to hold its own this season, but I don't know. I'm thinking of making a small trade, because we could maybe use a goaltender right now. Maybe just one that, can hold for a couple years. I'm thinking Peter Mrazek as my target. He's the same overall. He is on a rebuilding squad, so that might be a cause for concern, but maybe he could grow on our team. He's still got a year left to grow. So there's still some potential in Mrazek. Don't get me wrong. So maybe this could be the trade that fixes all of that. Let's see if we can get them to retain half his salary. Maybe that'd be even better. Only having him pay how much? 2 point some odd of his salary, right? 2.252, I guess, of his salary. If we can only have to pay that, that'd be perfect. Cam Talbot for Peter Mrazek straight up. Maybe we can just get an improvement in the goaltending. And also, when you guys were away, I did some call-ups and send-downs and whatnot. And also, we acquired some picks. I got rid of some, I got rid of a couple of unneeded players that weren't really going to be playing. So we got the Calgary Flames third pick and the Vancouver Canucks third round pick. We still have to keep stocking up on prospects, even though our team still remains strong. So, it never hurts to go for those type of players. So let's see if we can make this go straight up. I don't know if Detroit will let the salary retaining be a factor. Let's see, though. We can try. It can't hurt. They want Cam Talbot back, so who knows? Let's see. Trade rejected. You've met our block needs well enough, but the value you have is too far off. Okay. I don't want to be taking an entire video by this trade either. This is not going to be a trade that's going to be kind of driving me aside if it doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't. If I can't make it work, that's okay. I don't care. But we can make something happen here. Who knows? We can make something happen. And also maybe if we can't make Mrazek work, we can just trade for a, number 3 or number 4 centerman, which could be pretty efficient. We have a lot of defensive prospects. So maybe Benning could be the piece, because I'm thinking of trading probably Caleb Jones or Johansson or Tuola. Maybe Johansson for Tuola for a centerman. Who knows? Maybe Benning we could add. Oh, Detroit would have more than 45 skaters in the organization. Okay, maybe we're gonna have to retain some or bring some salary. Maybe bring you down to 35%. I don't know, though, if it was the defense that, failed Talbot or what. They're still not willing to accept, huh? Oh, boy. Okay, let's try, 25%. We still would like to save some money. Oh, shoot. We want to make this trade go through because we don't want to be stuck with the unfortunate task of having to, keep Talbot, because clearly he's not getting it done in Edmonton. He's not. He seemed fine, but we want to keep our picks for the future, so I don't know if this trade's going to work out. I don't think it is. So, you know what, maybe we can just, I don't know. Cam Talbot's actually managing to carry the real Edmonton Oilers, so maybe we just need a more strong team up front. So let's focus maybe on getting a number 3 or number 4 centerman to even out that core, and maybe we can get something done here. So let's look at a centerman. I don't want to take too long just doing some trades. I want to actually get some simulating done in this video, so that's my intentions. So let's go to centerman. I'd like to trade for a number 3 or number 4 centerman, depending on the value. So let's go maybe by overall, just so, I don't get too kerfuffled. Maybe Sam Steele could be a very efficient one. He's a 82 overall, 20 years old. He's rated as a top 9 forward, but I think he could do much better. He could be a much better forward. Who knows? We can make something work here. Sam Steele. I didn't really do much scouting, so maybe I'll cut this part out, and maybe I'll come back when I have an idea on the trade. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Because I don't want... Dauphin, hold the phone. Maybe we might already have something... No. I want to do it now, though. I don't want to have to make you guys... I don't want to have to cut out any part of the video. That's a lot of, just scouting through and stuff. But maybe we can get something done here. Maybe we can find someone quickly. Let's just see. I don't want to take too long. Cornell, he's 1 year left. I don't want to be taking contracts at 1 year left. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys didn't see, we just passed Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who was on our team before. Man, oh man. The Blue Jackets have a strong center core, by the way. Just keep that in mind. Wenberg could be an efficient number. Neither contract would be efficient to bring in. And also, by the way, like I said, we'd have to part ways with the defensive prospect, so the Blue Jackets could probably be even stronger on the back end. We want a forward that's got some potential, and he's a good rating. Maybe Nick Schmaltz. Is he rated a third or fourth? If he's rated he's a third line scoring, he probably wouldn't want to be playing on the fourth line. There's that Mark McNeil forward. Interesting indeed. There might be... JT Compher. He could be a good one. He's 23 years old, but he's, again, would be a risk taker because he's only got 1 year left on his deal. We'd have to let him go after the season. But I think this is the year we want to make that Stanley Cup run because we don't want to be sitting on the outside looking in again. This is our year to make a push for the Stanley Cup. Maybe that's what we have to do. Maybe we have to make those deals. And like I said, if it doesn't work out, we still have a bunch of picks to work with. So something can happen. Jared McCann, he comes at a relatively low value, and you probably wouldn't ask for much. What's he rated? Is he a fourth line? He's a third line scoring forward. Jared McCann. He'd be a pretty solid he'd be a solid fourth line center to bring in. He'd be probably the best fourth liner for the value. For the value, he'd be probably the best option. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Hudden, he'd be a good one too, but again, the value's fairly high, and the contract's only 1 year. That'd be an unfortunate turn of events. I don't want to come in, acquire a player, and then have to immediately lose him just once contracts come around, because we want to have this top... I want to just at least even cover just the top 9 for the next 3 years, because that's what it looks like. Sissons, again, he's a little too good. I think McCann might be the best one because, I might be willing to pay his contract. There's just some players you feel like you're just willing to pay their contract no matter what it is. And I think McCann would be one of those players. But again, we'd have to part ways with something. And again, I'm also be gambling our defensive prospects of the future because Griffin Reinhardt's got a contract coming up soon. Not sure if you guys are aware, but he does have a contract coming up soon. And you have to keep that into mind. He's going to want a decent raise considering he's 85 overall. So maybe, I don't know. Cousins would be good, but he wouldn't be much better than Lander. He's only 79 overall, so we want a guy who's at least 82, like Brian Rust. He'd be a good guy to bring in. We could sign him for relatively cheap, too. Considering, I don't know, maybe he'd be a good fourth-line center just to round out that core. Because we don't need 84s and 85s running around on the third, fourth. Well, we could use 84s and 85s on the third, but we don't want 84s or 85 running around on the fourth line. That'd be costing way too much money, and our defensive prospects will suffer because we're going to have to do something with that. Tierney, yeah, he's got 2 years. Relatively cheap. Relatively cheap for 2 years. And it wouldn't be much of a gamble because, again, next year's contract pool ain't big either. So it's 3 years from now. The magic number right now is 3. A lot of our contracts are 3 years left. We got some big contracts ending by then, so that's the big question mark as to whether or not we push for that. Barbashev is a little too good. He'd be perfect, though. to bring in if I was in desperate need for a number 3 center. The contract's there and everything, but here's a couple of centers we could bring in, both on legitimately cheap contracts. They're entry level though, so that'd be the risk. What is he though? He is a depth forward, so it wouldn't be exactly the brightest idea. If bringing in a depth forward though, I mean, I'm taking the chance. We might. Okay, so I think right now, just by looking at this, I think our best option is going to have to be McCann. McCann's probably our best option because he's rated pretty well for low value. So, looks like McCann's going to be the trade of choice. Then we're going to immediately start the simulation because I think we've been going on a little too long without any intense simulating going on, or not intense, but good simulating done. So yes, we're going to go make that trade. We need a number 4 center. Has to be done. We can part ways with the defensive prospect too. So we're going to take McCann. We're going to put you on. You're rated a low top 6, so you could pay off well for us. And Landry, you could be playing, in the minors. We have a lot of forward prospects we could part with too. Maybe part ways with a left wing as well as a defender. But we don't want to give up way too much. We can't get too crazy because we have also got to be careful with our future too, because we got a decently bright future ahead of us. Right wing is a little on the low side. Wait, Tuola. Oh, okay, never mind. I was about to say Tuola. I thought he was a defender, but no. Yes, we got to get rid of this Tuola. I wonder if we could do this straight up 1-for-1 sort of thing. I don't know. This looks like it could work, ideally. Defender for a centerman. If we have to, we'll add maybe a left wing or something to this, but who knows? This could work. Will it go through? No. We meet the value, but the value, like the trade block, isn't exactly there. We don't want to have to part ways with our defensive prospects because then I wouldn't be too afraid to lose a guy like Griffin Reinhart to free agency. If we were to lose him, I wouldn't be like, oh no, the world's ending, sort of thing. Tyler Benson would be a good value pusher. We have a lot of left wingers up and coming, so I think Tyler Benson's the odd man out here. But then again, that would put the Panthers right over the value. Maybe see if we can bring him in. Again, the value just Oh, okay. Tuola and Benson for McCann and some Moreau's guy. Welcome to the team. We're going to assistant coach best roster, I guess. Those were all the trades we needed to make. That was all I needed to do. We wanted to try for Peter Mrazek, but it just didn't happen. So now we have a legit top. Okay, why are you here? Who's scratched? Is VZ scratched? VZ, you're not being scratched. You're starting. You're on that fourth line left wing. We're putting you there. We're not letting Moreau's be playing. I mean, I guess they best lined him for a reason, but no, you gotta get sent down, buddy. And I guess just boom like that. Not going to be too thrilled I sent him down. But had to be done. Had to be done. So this is the new look Edmonton Oilers. Our offensive core is stacked. And I think this could be the year for Edmonton. This could be the year that we make that push for the Stanley Cup. Offense is there, and defense is most of the way there. Goaltending, again, is still a glaring issue. But I think it won't matter with the forwards we have. Because we got Lucic as a power forward, McDavid and Atkinson as a sniper. That's a perfect combination up top. Two-way forward with a two-way forward and a sniper. I mean, we could maybe use like a playmaker up there. But I can live with that. It's power forward, playmaker, two-way forward. Still a decent combination. Power forward, two-way forward, and I guess a two-way forward. But that's okay on the fourth line. Our team is still full of two-way defenders, but we do have an offensive defender on this line here. And in the system, I think we have a decent defensive core that could be potentially good. Jake Bean's an offensive defenseman, and I think Hogg is a defensive defenseman. He's not playing right now, but we might have to make a trade also, because I don't think I managed to get rid of Benning for anything. So we might have to get rid of Benning. Benning is playing. Because we need to let Hogg play. We can't be letting Hogg get scratched. and maybe Simonelli, because he's the only other player that gets in the way of Hogg playing. Hogg is ready for some NHL or AHL experience. So we're just going to go make one little minor trade. I know we're 15 minutes in and we haven't even started the sim, but these are just things we need to make this team stronger. These are just deals that have to be made. So Simonelli, where are you? All right. Don't tell me Simonelli's like some huge prospect that's coveted. No, he's not. Then where the heck is he? Simonelli, why are you somehow running away? Where are you? I'm confused because we had Simonelli was here somewhere. Hogg then will be playing then if that was the case. I wanted to trade Benning though. That was my whole intention of this. Then I guess we'll just throw him to any team that's got a contract available and we'll take a pick from them. Vancouver Canucks, I guess we'll pick on you again. We want your 4th. Can we take your 4th? Oh, they do want to get rid of it. I guess this could be a quick one for one deal. We'll get out of here. There we go. Assistant coach best roster again. Please don't tell me that you guys like brought up Mitch Moroz again. Just gonna go make sure that they didn't do that because I don't want them doing that. I don't want Moroz on my team. I want the lineup I have. The lineup I have looks good. At least it could be a very efficient. Okay, yes, there we go. Good. We're good. So now, enough talking about trades. Trades are done. Time to simulate. Here we go. I'm just going to go make sure injuries are not on at the moment, so then I can turn them back on when the season begins. Because I don't want Connor McDavid being out for the season and preseason. I'll turn them on when the season begins, don't get me wrong, but I just don't want to be losing players a day in. We want to know what this team is expected to look like. So let's see how we fare in our preseason matchups. So, what do you guys think of the moves I've made? I think I've made some pretty good moves. Like, I think this team is ready to make that push for the Stanley Cup. I think this is our time. We've got about, the magic number I think right now, like I said, is 3 years. We've got 3 seasons to, right now, get as good as possible. We've got 3 years to win a Stanley Cup. And I'm not saying once 3 years is up, nope, we're done, we can't win anymore. But it might be hard to keep this team we have together, right? You know what I'm saying? So we might have a hard time keeping the strong team we have together after 3 years. So, again, 3 years is the magic number right now. And our preseason statistics actually look pretty good. We won 5 games, we lost 1. So, I mean, I guess we brought out our best team against this team, but, or like against all these teams. But you know what? We never looked good in the preseason, but now I think we're good to go. Just wanted to make sure that the injury wasn't up to like 50 and we lose half our team in the first day. So we're good to go. Let's see how the Edmonton Oilers do. This is a new season, new opportunities. Let's just sim through this month and see how we do. So we're going to sim up to the Winnipeg Jets. We're going to, it'll be a good year for rookies. I like that. That's great. Waivers are in effect. Come on, let's begin this season on a high note. We want to be not the way I envisioned starting with a 4-1 loss and then following that up with a 6-2 loss. But I mean, if we can win and then another loss, 7-1. I don't like. Okay, we finally got our first win. Took us 4 games, and then we got another one against the Penguins. So I don't know. I hope this is not the Edmonton Oilers I see. I hope this is not what happens to us. I want us to make the playoffs this year. The first 2 years, we missed the playoffs. We weren't good enough. If we lose this year, it's going to be a goaltending issue. There's no other excuse. Like, there's got to be no other excuse if we miss the playoffs this year, goaltending. And then that means I would be going out and making a trade for a goaltender. Our first month has not been exactly ideal as we went 3-6-0. So come on, boys. What the heck's going on with you guys? We had a strong team. We don't want to be letting that be the cause of failure. We don't want to be losing this. We don't want to be losing. We can't be losing. Like, our team, I think, is just way too strong for that. Like, to be a losing squad. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're right now 4-7-0. We can't be 4-7-0 with the team we have. No way. Come on, the season started to already turn around. like backwards. Go backwards. We don't want that. We don't want a backward-ass season. All right, we're losing way too many games right now. Like, what are you doing, Edmonton? We can't be losing right now. Something's got to be done. I think it's goaltending now. It's got to be goaltending. Like, we got a good team. I don't see what our problem is right now. I mean, we're picking up wins, I guess, but I mean, is that really good enough? Like, is that the team? I don't know. I mean, we're starting to turn it around now. We're 7-9-1. But come on, boys. We need to go on like a tear now if we want to really be considered a playoff contender here. We don't want to have to fight our way in. Come on, boys. We're 9-10-1, so I mean, it's definitely an improvement from what happened last month. But, I mean, still, come on, boys. We need some wins here. I mean, we ended off the month on a positive against Vancouver. So, we're 10-10-2. Definitely a lot better than what our team was last season, but definitely not as good as I expected it to be. But we're right in the thick of the playoff race right now. We're 5 points out, and we still have a couple of extra games to play on the Kings. I don't know. I think it's got to be goaltending, right? You guys probably agree with me. It's got to be goaltending, because if we had a 92 overall team for offense, 92 defense, and then just, like... And then, then 87 goaltending. If that's the cause of our losses, then I don't know. Maybe it is time to trade for a goaltender. Like, actually trade some assets for a goaltender. And kind of bring in another player. I don't know. It's a little too early to say. The first couple of months are shaky for us. But you know what? Maybe we can bounce back. And this could be the month. But I don't want to jinx anything. I hope I don't jinx anything. Who knows? We'll do something here. I hope we do something, because we need to really bounce back after these first couple of weak months. Let's go, boys. Let's go. All right, we started off the month strong. We now have more wins than we do regulation losses. That still doesn't mean we can just give up and lose. We still need to win some games here, guys. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Okay, so a 5-3 loss. But then that followed up with a 5-2 win, so, that's good. Then we beat the Kings 4-2. That was a big one. We beat our divisional opponent. But then we lose 3-0 to the Jets. Come on, boys. We can't be streaking like this all season. We got to really start setting ourselves apart from the crowd if we really want to make a push for the playoffs. Okay. So now I'm looking at things. We're actually beginning to win a few games. We're on a 4-game winning streak right now. We've won, I think, 6 of our last 7, but thank you, Kings. Of course, you beat us, but then we bounce back with a win over the Sharks. Our playoff record is looking pretty positive. We look like we can compete for the playoffs right now. We do look like a competitive team. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a little too soon to say the goaltending's the immediate issue. Although maybe this season could be the year that I go for a goaltender. Bobrovsky looks like he's going to be hitting free agency, so maybe if Bobrovsky hits free agency, we could sign him to like a 2-3-year 2-3-year contract and let him play out until Gravel is ready to take the reins, sort of thing. But we are winning some games. That is a positive right now. We're 20-14-2. That's definitely improvement from like our 3-6-0 record we had to start the season. And right now, as we stand, we are the division leader. Woohoo! So we went from a team that was like not even considered a playoff threat to a team that leads the division. Not by much though. Don't rest on your laurels, boys. We're only in the playoffs legit by 4 points. 3 losses in a row and another team wins 3, you're out. So don't call this like, oh, we're winning the division, we're in, boys. Not that kind of thing. But again, it's pretty shaky. It's pretty flaky on who could be in right now. Every team right now is still in the race. Let's see how we sit against the entire league right now as of right now. So currently we're the 7th best team in the league. Pretty damn good. Goals for per game for Edmonton are among the top. That was way better than it was last year. We're scoring a lot, but there's always a but. Our goals against average is still high, but I don't think it's because of defensemen. I don't think it's defending anymore. Let's see. We have among the top power plays. That's a positive. And our penalty kill is around the middle. I mean, it's closer to the top third. But, I'm looking back now, I think it's goaltending, and that's all it really is. Offense is right now winning us games. That's what's winning us games. McDavid's not really playing up to his contract. What's going on, McDavid? You only got 34 points in 37 games. Cam Atkinson's leading the way. I like the acquisition we made there. Offense is really panning out for a lot of things. It's a very even-based offensive team. Let's see, though. Let's look at Cam Talbot's stats and see if he's the problem. He could be the problem. Yeah, looking at it right away, he's the problem, in a sense. He's 2.95 goals against average and 901 save percentage. So, I mean, he's winning games. I'll give him that. He's winning some games. But his save percentage and his goals against average just isn't there. And that's probably why we're letting in a lot of goals. If it wasn't for the fact that I went to town on the offensive acquisitions, we probably wouldn't be in a playoff spot right now. Just keep that in mind. But we're fighting still just to keep our division hopes alive. Let's sim up to the trade deadline and see where we sit from there. We don't want to really look at the All-Star game. No one really cares about that at this point. All that really matters is winning these games and making the playoffs. That's all that matters right now. We need every single win we can muster. And, well, we start off the month with 3 consecutive wins, and I'm not even sure how many games we won last month, so we're right now riding a streak. So, but that doesn't mean turn around and lose like 5 in a row either. We still gotta keep winning, because right now there are like 3 or 4 other teams that are right now on our arse for a division win right now. On our arse. And while Calgary just ended our streak, I'm still not concerned because we were just on a streak. Anyway, I'm just not going to jinx myself right now, because right now just saying all this could be way too soon, and then we turn around and we're right at the bottom of the standings again. But I like where we're going. I'll say that for sure. We're winning games, and that's what matters. A couple of losses this month, only against Calgary and St. Louis, but only 2. Okay, maybe now 3. But we're still winning games. We're still continuing to win. That's what matters here, boys. That's what matters. We've only lost 3 times this month. Once to Calgary in a pretty bad beating of an 8-1 matchup. A 5-3 loss to the Blues where we managed to score a couple, and a 5-0 loss to the Bruins. Those aren't exactly ideal losses we want to have, but they're losses we all take at some point. So the division lead as of right now, we still sit on top of the division. Only by 3 points. It's not very comfortable right now. But it looks as though the Anaheim Ducks, I think, have played a couple more games than we have. Am I not mistaken? They played 1 more game, so we have a game in hand. We have a game in hand on everyone else behind us. So we're in a good spot right now. Unless we start losing all of a sudden, I think we could be making the playoffs for the first time in this GMO commentary. Thank God. Sorry about that. We'll sim up to the 27th, because I maybe could assess our situation and see what we can do. Right now, though, I don't know. I think goaltending could be the only thing right now. Goaltending, but I don't even know. Sorry, oh God, was that even a voice crack? I don't need defenseman right now. Yeah, we're going to keep scouting forwards. But right now, we'll reassess the situation when we get closer to the deadline, because we still have about a few games to play. Let's just put it that way. We still have some games to play. We need to assess our situation once we're at the deadline, because we want to know where we stand as of late. We can't be losing now, though. This is not the time. Okay, we bounced back with a win to the Sharks after losing like 4 of our last 5. Or, no. Yeah, 4 of our last 5. But then we bounced back with a 3-win streak. So, I mean, we're right in the ship. I think we're going to be making the playoffs this year. I don't want to jinx it. It might be too soon to say, but I think we're a playoff-bound team. Unless everything just goes backwards. It looks like right now we're on the way. Injuries have not been a problem for us either. So, and yes, I turned injuries on. You guys saw me do it. Injuries are on. We just haven't been hit by the injury bug. We've been pretty lucky that we were lucky enough to not get hit with the injury bug. So who knows? We look like if we really hit our stride, we could hit our stride and maybe hit 50 wins. Who knows? But right now, we sit first place in the division. The place I wanted to be for so long. But right now, we don't have a high-scoring team. I don't understand why we're winning so many games. Maybe do you think it's because... Well, our offense is pretty even among the players. The offense is pretty even. How's McDavid? You're a minus 12, McDavid. What are you doing? Like, jeez. You're a minus 12. You're a minus 5. Maybe it's the second line that's getting it done. Because our first line is a minus. But our entire second line is a plus. Do you maybe think it's safe to assume that it's the second line that's getting us through as opposed to the first line? Food for thought. All right. So, right now, we only have a game in hand over the teams, the Kings and Sharks, so that's good. But the Ducks, they still won't catch us, even with their game in hand. So, unless we begin to lose, I see us making the playoffs. I don't think I really want to touch anything. Right now, our goaltending, Cam Talbot's doing fine, I guess. I mean, he's winning those games. Probably not because of him and his statistics, but probably because the offense is carrying him through. Let's look, though. Your goals against average got worse. What's wrong with both of you? Goodness gracious. Both of you. Goodness gracious. Come on. You're under a 900 save percentage. What are you doing, Talbot? Okay. I don't know. I think it would be a very bad idea if we went ahead and traded right now, like at the deadline. It just does not seem like an ideal move to make. Right now, Cam Talbot's just not playing up to his contract. He might be an ideal backup if we can sign him for cheap, but right now we just do not seem to have that kind of mindset. We have a lot of picks right now, so we could maybe use them on a potential goaltender, but again, we got Gravel. Like, Gravel seems just fine right now. But also, this is where teams begin to make fire sales. This is the deadline we're talking about here. We're going to do a bit more scouting because, you know what, why not? Right now, at this point, we could send the entire season right now. Vladar. Ooh, he's rated a high backup. Make the trade. He's actually considered something good. I don't know. I'm very concerned about making any deals right now because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why would I go ahead and try and, like, destroy this team? Like, or not destroy this team. Not really. We're not really doing anything. The only thing I'd really be doing is just acquiring a number one goaltender, which is not 100% necessary unless the trade is there. Unless we can make a trade at, like, same deal, like 1 year left. We can sign him for that kind of contract. That could be the only case we bring in a goaltender. If we bring in somebody better, we can maybe, like, right the ship and make the playoffs, and maybe our defense will go up a bit, or our goals against average, or our goals totals will go down, and we could be a playoff team. Just, again, a food for thought thing. Maybe Brian Elliott, he's got 1 year left on his deal. He's better than Talbot. The trade all makes sense. Like, again, it'd be hard to shuffle goaltenders to the deadline, but really, I'm open to anything. Our team is right now on pace for the playoffs. Unless we go and, like, lose 10 in a row, we're going to the playoffs. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think we're in. But we need a goaltender, I think, that can lead us to the Stanley Cup. Hank is way too much money. For 3 years, we don't need him for 3. We only need him for 1 or 2 max. 2 max. Maybe Steve Mason could be our answer. 2 years max. I did just say 2 years max. I don't know. This is a very hard trade. Like, this is a hard one to go about because, I don't know. I think, though, maybe Brian Elliott could be our best option. He's a good goaltender. His value's low. He's got 1 year left. Like I said, he's an improvement from Cam Talbot at his shitty stats we have. Maybe he is the answer. Maybe he's the answer we need to go for. I'm still not willing to part ways with prospects. I don't think that's my option right now. I don't think that's a good option. But maybe part ways with, something, right? If we must, we'll part way with a prospect to help enhance our chances of bringing Elliott over here. But let's look at his statistics. Maybe this could, see. His statistics are pretty good. He's 914, 250. So his statistics are way better than Talbot's. We'll go already about that. We'll already say that his statistics are better. Yeah, I think. And look at his overall, or like his trade value. Maybe we could ask them to bring a couple of picks over with him. Hold on just a moment. Alright, so we're back. And I decided that looking upon the goaltending situation we have, with Cam Talbot as the starting goalie and Vevalainen as the backup goaltender, and apparently Gravel already turning into a 73 overall. That works for me. Okay. Maybe I guess it's okay to hold on to Cam Talbot. I think we should stand pat on goaltending. We're 37, 23, and 2 with Talbot as a starter, so clearly we're doing something right. So I guess maybe we should stand pat with the goaltending. But that doesn't mean I'm done, really. I'm going to try and trade for a second, to be honest. I think Tuola and something else could be traded in exchange for a second. If we can do that, then we should. If we can make that happen. I think it was Malakoff, that was the guy. Yeah, Malakoff. I was thinking of trading him and something else to Calgary in exchange for a second. Or if we can go and acquire, a second round pick on a weaker team, like a team that I feel could be easier to acquire the pick, in a sense, we could go out and do that too. I really don't want to touch anything else because honestly we have a team that can make a deep run in the playoffs. I don't want to be going and screwing around with that. But let's see, maybe we can acquire the second that could work. Let's find out. No, the trade rejected. Okay, I don't want to be complaining too much. I want to be going trading picks and trading for picks to teams that actually want to get rid of it and can make it work. Could we make the trade work with Detroit? No, we can't. Okay, who else is a rebuilding team? The Panthers were hopefuls. We want rebuilding. There are only really a couple of true rebuilders, and that's Detroit and Arizona. Arizona is a true rebuilder, and they don't want to get rid of their second. But maybe if we can convince them. No? Okay. I never really referenced the standings at all. I never referenced the standings. Which picks should I go for? I never really referenced the standings. I think if we could make the trade work with Calgary, we could probably get a nice low pick. They are the second worst team in the division. And the division race is beginning to kind of expand and diverse. It wasn't as close as it was. And wow, we're actually that close to a President's Trophy. We're only 8 points out, and we have the top record in the Western Conference. It's pretty impressive. We're the top record in the Western Conference. We went from a bottom-feeding team, picking third and fifth, to the best record in the Western Conference, and also third best in the league. And we could surpass Tampa Bay for the second best in the league if we were to win our next game. But that's not what I'm here for. I want to see if there are any weak teams that we could steal their picks. So the Islanders currently have the worst record in the league, followed by New Jersey and then Philadelphia. We want a nice early second round pick. We still want to stock up on prospects just in case players leave. I think our forward core is fine, but it's the defensive core that I'm really concerned about. And it might not even be a concern. It's just kind of over-analyzing and preparing just in case, right? It's preparing for the worst. If a player decides they want to leave, I don't want to have to be stranded and trying to find out, okay, what the heck am I going to do now? I don't have these guys. What do I do now? So I don't want to touch the starters. I don't want to touch the backup. The backup's fine. Our starter of the future is growing way quicker than I expected. Maybe Cam Talbot could only be signed to a 2-3 year deal, and then Gravel will be ready to take over. So I'm hoping that's the case, because I'll be signing Gravel to his contract as soon as I can. It's looking all but done now. Also, maybe I might take a look at the bottom of okay. So we have 6 defenders in the minors. Pretty good looking core we got here. With Hogg being our worst defenseman, that's okay, I guess. He is 69-20, which is a little slower than I want him to be. But, I think our defensive prospects are fine. We've got 6 in the minors, 6 in the majors. That's perfectly good to go. And, defensive prospects can be signed if need be. Like we have free agency. And I don't want Edmonton to be worse, but if it happens, it happens. That's how it is. Let's see. We want to go maybe try the Islanders first. See if we can acquire their second. It seems like a stretch considering they have the worst record in the league and their second's almost worth a first. But, if we can't, then we can go and acquire a third. Or there was another second I just saw there from Anaheim, I think. And we can get their second because we can use a lot of prospects, right? Like restock the shelves. Because we're not exactly like rich in prospects. We are, but we aren't. And they're both bottom 6 forwards, but Nazarov would be the more desired one to keep. Let's see if this could go through straight up. We could live with what you're sending us, but not in this deal. Okay. Didn't think so. If we have to, we'll downgrade to the next second round pick. At least we can have something else to work with in this draft. Yeah, I don't know. We could maybe sacrifice a third. Looks like the Maple Leafs are going to have a pretty strong year by the looks of it, so we can give up their pick in exchange. I don't know, we'll see. No, I didn't think so. Maybe we're going to drop the third and just go for a later second round because we don't want to be doing a long dance trying to get these picks. Oh, really? Jeez. You're not making life any easier for anybody. Alright, I've got a different plan. We'll trade for your third. Alright, the value just does not seem like it's there. Maybe Tuola straight up for a third. Because I think Tuola would be worth a third round pick. Yeah, then drop Malakoff and try for the third. There you go, Tuola in exchange for the third round pick. Don't know if we gave up a lot or don't know if we gave up too much or if we gave up just the right amount, but we're in contender status. That's what matters. That's enough trading for now. Maybe we could sign a free agency. Apparently free agencies are still open. Maybe if there's like a backup goaltender we can sign so we can like maybe secure a few more wins. We could secure a better playoff spot. Who knows? But Brian, oh my goodness, Brian Little, a centerman, 87 overall, 31 years old, and he's still on the free agency market. Anderson, he's like a depth defender. He would be a good 7th D. He's 24. He's 82 overall. He'd be good to bring in. I don't know. There's a couple of good players we could bring in here. I don't know why they're all here. Although they're probably the best we can work with. Because there probably aren't a lot of good stuff here. Probably no goaltending prospects either that we could try and bring in. Well, Werner's a fringe starter low. Other than that, there's really nothing impressive here. So, nah, I'll leave it alone. We'll leave it alone. I don't want to be trying to overthink and then make mistakes. Because look at our team's record. When you really think about it, our team's record is currently third best in the league. Do you really want to go fiddling around with that? I wouldn't. We currently sit, I don't even know how many points the Central team have. Maybe the Central could make it a tougher race, but the Sharks at least claim a spot, so we're at least 6 points in. At least. Yeah, we're 6 points in because the Winnipeg Jets own a wild card spot, and so we're 8 points in. 8 points in a playoff spot, which is not exactly comfortable, but if we can start winning some games, maybe the playoffs could be basically in. We'd be in for the playoffs. But we're going to have to win a good amount of games here. We can't go on a big losing streak. So, let's do this. We're a contending team. Let's play like one. Alright. So, we didn't exactly have a desired ending against the Panthers with a 4-2 loss, but we bounced back with a 5-2 win over the Devils, and then we lost 3-2. So, we're just basically back to losing 2 points. But then we picked up a 1-0 victory over the Maple Leafs. Every game here basically counts. We got to get as many wins as we can. And you guys losing to the Rangers 5-2 isn't going to help us. And we need to start beating divisional opponents too. We can't be losing to Vancouver 6-3. Although beating Montreal 2-1 was pretty nice. At least we can win some games. We need to make the playoffs. Like, I think it's too soon to say we made it, but I don't think we're going to collapse that hard into the ground that we're going to miss the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we're going to collapse that hard. If we did, that'd be just embarrassing, and maybe I spoke too soon. I don't know. We lost a couple there in a row. Okay, we got a point. I mean, as long as we're getting points, but we need to start winning, more or less getting just 1 point. A 3-0 win over the Blue Jackets helps, but a 3-0 loss to the Hawks doesn't. And then an 8-2 loss. We can't keep losing, boys. We gotta start winning. Come on. We lose 3 in a row at the wrong time. And then an 8-4 loss. We got 3 games to go. This is not the time to start losing. Are we even in anymore? Okay, we hold on a wild card spot. There goes our division chances, but right now, second place in the division is still a reality. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, I'll say that for sure. We've fallen from first in the division all the way to fourth. We could sit, right now, we are tied for the first wildcard spot. I think, do we own the first wildcard spot or do we own the second wildcard spot? Depends. I think we are behind the Wild, so we own the second wildcard spot, which means we'd be facing, I think, the Anaheim Ducks, which is expected, but we can't keep losing the games. We're only 2 points in right now. We lose 3 in a row here, we're done. We can't miss the playoffs. We have the team to do it. I don't know why all of a sudden the team just collapses. I guess that's what you get for speaking too soon. Alright, boys, come on. We need wins. We need them now. We need them now. That's all it is, really. We gotta sim these games like this. Alright, boys, let's do it. Alright, first period. Alright, Adam Larson with the goal. Second period. Alright, Cam Atkinson. Keep us alive. Come on, boys. We need the win. And Brendan Gallagher gives us the victory. We are currently... There is still hope for this young squad to steal a spot in the playoffs for the first time since like 2006 or something. So we own the third place spot. We're behind the Sharks. If we could win these last 2 games, we could hold a second spot. We need to win these last 2 though. We can't lose them. All right, boys, this is Coyotes. This isn't a easy match, but we can still do it. Let's go, boys. Nice way, Gallagher. Nice goal to start us off. All right, Brendan Gallagher, another one, but Dylan Strome tallies back. And Cam Atkinson and Nurse put it to bed. All right, we win 4-1 over the Arizona Coyotes. I think we're in, boys. I think that's it. Are we in? I think we got to be in. We've won 2 back-to-back. We're not in just yet. Are we really not in yet? Is it going to require one last game? I don't even know if we're in yet. I mean, the Kings could knock us out of into a wild card spot, which is not exactly ideal. But really, a team could knock us out right now. We're going to need to win this last game right now. Win this game and we're in. We lose the game and we could be going home. Are we really starting the backup for the last game of the year? Oh, Jonas Brodin. Alright. He is just becoming a lost cause. We've punched our ticket. No, we haven't, have we? Alright. Okay, Connor McDavid lost morale. Wait, have we punched a ticket to the playoffs yet? We can't. Are we in? We're not in just yet. What are you talking about? But we can't be starting the start. We can't be putting in the backup goaltender for the last game of the year. That seems idiotic. We got to be starting the goaltender. We got to be putting in the starter. Like, I don't know why they're wanting to start Vevalainen in our last game of the year. We need to be starting Cam Talbot. Like, this is the goaltender we roll with. We can't be putting our playoffs on the line for the backup. All right, boys, we need this win. We need it now. Let's go, boys. First period. Leon Draisaitl Maroon. There you go. That goal there seems almost impossible. But hey, I mean, I guess anything can happen. Second period. All right. Leon Draisaitl and Tarasenko. If we win this game, we basically put the playoffs. We're basically in. All right, third period. And that's it. We're off to the playoffs, boys. We did it. Oh, geez, Louise. And I think we claimed the third seed. Yeah, I think we claimed third seed. So we're going to San Jose. Who would have thought? We placed third seed. That's pretty good. I mean, I'm quite happy that our team made the playoffs. But this is where the real challenge begins. Anyways, we're going to do a season wrap-up here. Check out how our team has done. So let's look at the player statistics individually and see how everyone did. Connor McDavid, you have just been underwhelming. Okay, let's look at your last couple of years for a second. You had 84 points my first GM mode year. You went down to 56. I will say you went up to 69. But that's not what I needed from you. Cam Atkinson, though, he's been our MVP, no doubt. MVP for our team. Man, this was a crazy year. We went from, we were at the bottom of the division standings to the top, just to fighting our way in. Cam Talbot kind of shook up his act a bit and improved his stats a bit, but nothing too dramatic. But now let's look at the final standings. All right, so we went to potential conference champions to third seeded, but still impressive. I mean, we still made the playoffs, but I mean, I wanted us to. I kind of was saying I was expecting no less. I wouldn't accept no less. We traded for the Islanders pick, and they are the fourth worst team in the league. So we got a good pick coming in. Goals for per game for us. We sit around the top third. Still good. But our goals against, that was a problem. I think goaltending is going to be something that will be fixed next season. But we're in the playoffs now. And the power play, I think penalty kill. If the penalty kill's good. Well, the penalty kill, wasn't great. It went backward a bit. But I think our biggest thing to fix now is the goaltending. That's our biggest issue. But anyways, that's it. We're in the playoffs, boys, for the first time since 2006. And we'll be taking on the San Jose Sharks. Hey guys, welcome to the end of the video. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Any suggestions for our channel? Leave it in the comments below. Want to keep updated with videos me or Derek are doing? Hit that subscribe button. That is it, everybody. Have a great day.